Hey guys, Steven here today. And today what I wanted to talk to you about is tiger swag surfing. So what do I mean by that? I came across the realization that a lot of the times the key to, I guess, the golden cadence, right? Finding that fucking sweet spot is essentially boiling down to finding your gallop, right? And how it came to me was, think of a tiger, right? A lot of people, when they see them run, they think they're actually running like full sprint without any real intelligence to it. But I realized that if you actually break down the micro events that are occurring, right, you'll realize that there's a certain cadence, like a certain gallop, where it's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, when they're really trying to speed things up and cover ground. Now, why is this an advantage? It essentially gives you more control, awareness over your movements, but more particularly when you're covering or going through space-time, right? So for example, in soccer, instead of just running full speed at someone who has the ball and you're trying to dispossess them, right? And by doing that, you're essentially leaving the whole team vulnerable because you're creating a huge hole because you're essentially moving out of rhythm with the rhythm of the whole team, right? You're essentially breaking out of one team consciousness. And what happens is, if there's not a fucking swaggy ass teammate that's aware of that and covering that hole that you left open, you're essentially leaving the entire team susceptible to a nasty crossover. And what this looks like is the person sees that you're running head on, and all they have to do is just fucking shift your momentum against you. So they'll go like this, and then you're still running, and then they just cut back. Like they'll feint this way instead of going. That's the word I meant. They'll feint this way and then actually go that way. And you'll miss completely. And the sad part is everything is related, right? So if you're going in one direction, you're fucking completely changing the magnetic lines and fields across the entire team, right? And so now they have to shift. Now, in this situation, as I mentioned, when you're falling for the feint, the whole team is shifting in the wrong direction. So you're going like this, or if the guy feints, you go this way, the whole fucking team goes with you, and then he cuts back, and the whole team is like literally off kilter. They're no longer aligned with the midline, the free line, or the free space of the field. They're completely fucking left open and it's a massive vulnerability. Now with tiger swag surfing, you realize that, oh shit, I actually don't have to run full speed. I just have to fucking cover the person or shadow him. So I just have to go with his movements. If he goes left, I go left. If he goes right, I go right. And for you to have that dynamic movement, a dynamic reaction to what that player is doing, you can't be running full speed. You gotta be running at a pace that's fucking swaggy, for lack of a better term. Meaning it allows you to just shift speed, direction, movement at any point and as you desire, right? And one way of essentially closing in that gap, right, that space between you and the person, is counting your fucking gallop. So you can go 1, 2, right, and you're right there. Instead of just run 1, 2, 3, or just running full on without even thinking about it, right? So think about your gallop. That's why I mentioned, I really urge people, like when you go running, count your steps. Left foot is 1, right foot is 1, and then the next one. So you're running one, 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 one. If you're crazy like me, right? And then you do those like 4 times. So one, 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 right? But it's essentially just actually keeping track of how you're moving through space-time, right? Because if you become aware of your movements, if you become aware of how you take up space, how every single thing that you do takes up space, and then you go a step further by like being, how do you call it? Not just using finesse, but being conscious about what movement you use to take up the space by counting your steps, by controlling your gallop like a tiger. You'll actually be able to do some really magical things. Like sometimes you'll realize, oh shit, I don't even need to like be all up in his face. I can just be sitting there within, as they call it, striking distance, maybe 2 steps back, and then allow him to make a move, right? And now it just becomes a game of chess. And then you can also use, as I mentioned in the tactical defending video, just like your other teammates, right? And that whole idea of one team consciousness, angling your body in one or the other to where now you're forcing him, you're only presenting him a particular set of options. And if you're really good, essentially making him take the option or the action that you want, right? So tiger swag surfing is remembering that the gallop at the end of the day is a true fucking game changer. Those tigers, when they're closing in on their prey, they're being extremely intelligent about it. They realize that if they gallop, if they run at a pace that's too fast, and they're running after an animal that's way faster than them, they'll just get tired. So why not run at a chill pace that allows them to stay with them, but at the same time not fall behind, right? If they're essentially going up against someone that's like slow, but like smart, then there's no point in just running full head on about it. Rather being more coy and just maintaining that awareness on the gallop and reacting dynamically to whatever is in front of them, right? So think about that and remember that every single thing that you do essentially takes up space, right? A turn takes up space. A look even takes up space depending on how you do it. Stopping the ball takes up space. Amping your leg up in preparation of a shot or a pass or receiving a pass or stopping a pass and turning into the other direction. Those are all different micro steps that each take up their space. You can think of it as like pixels, right? Everything you do takes up like a square pixel. And so by being conscious of that, you're like, oh shit, if I actually like think first, slow down everything in my mind, and then respond intelligently or react dynamically to whatever is going on, I can be vastly more effective than if I can just like and just injure yourself unnecessarily. But so that was, I mentioned soccer just because right now I just felt like the easiest way of explaining it, but it has a lot of ramifications. As I mentioned, running, even when you're walking sometimes and you feel like you're on an incline, you just realize, and all of a sudden it feels like it's harder to run. Well, you just hit a G field, right? So gravity is, or the density is a lot higher at that particular point. And so instead of spinning your wheels or adding more energy unnecessarily, just go with the flow and just be more patient in your running and your pacing, and just go with it until the G field clears up and you're able to run at a free pace again. Things like that. And you'll realize that, holy shit, it even translates in like other areas of life, like health, like how instead of just fucking trying to get everything, like trying to get the body now, you just find your rhythm. And you're like, okay, gotta work out a certain amount a day, gotta make sure I eat well, gotta make sure I drink my water, gotta make sure I sleep, all these things. Or in business, instead of just trying to like scale, let's fucking scale, you just realize, well, no, I actually have a fucking foundation to build. I have to figure out, hammer what is the core of my business. What is the actual service or the actual value that I'm providing through the vehicle that is the business, whether it's a product or a service. And then you try to find like the core fundamentals that build up that foundation skill service, right? That like makes or adds, that makes that service much more valuable in depth, right? And then you just hammer on those every day. But then you don't try to like burn yourself out. You just find your cadence, right? Doing just enough things, but not too little things, so that over time you're doing big things. Ah, that came out so well. Anyways, hope you guys got something out of this. And as always, swag, fuck yeah.